It's very, very clever. It's a really high level of technology. This boat is about 2 months old. We've only just had it. We used to have an Atlantic 75, which was 7.5 metres, and a slightly smaller, slightly less powerful. But this is all part of what we call the rationalisation. The RNLI decided that they want one type of inshore lifeboat, because it means that maintenance and costs are kept to a minimum because everybody's got the same. And so that's why we've ended up with this. Very interesting story as how we ended up with this. You will note it's called Toby Rundle. As I said, we received this boat in the beginning of May, and it hasn't officially been named. So the reason I was on my laptop just now is I've got some messages sending back and forth, organising this great big event on the 5th of July when the boat gets officially named. One of the things that has to happen with the launching of a boat, it needs to be blessed. Now, not all of us are Christians, but it's a tradition that a lot of sailors will not get in a boat unless it's been blessed, which is understandable. If that's what they believe, that's what they believe. So it has to go through that, and the whole process of the boat being handed over by the person who raised the money to the RNLI, then the RNLI handed over to us, and then our boss, our local operations manager, says, we accept it and we will now look after it, and then it becomes ours properly. So at the moment that hasn't happened yet, but it is in service. So within 24 hours of this boat arriving, we had a shout. We had to go and rescue kayak around the coast here, which is quite exciting really, isn't it? We had it signed up, the boat delivered and signed off on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday we were off on shout. So we haven't had one since, but that's the whole. It's actually good news if we don't have a shout, which is kind of like, it's a bit of a juxtaposition that we're in, isn't it? So, but on the other hand, we've had 4 shouts this year already, 2 kayaks, 1 coast, and the fishermen that you heard about, so we were involved with that. So as I say, this boat goes through and has been recently purchased. Toby Rundle was a very sad case of a student at Cambridge University who committed suicide under the pressure of study. And his father decided that he had to do something. And his father, on his own, went out and raised the money for this boat. £180,000 he raised in 2 years to pay for the boat. And that is why on July the 5th it will be officially named in honour of his son. And the nice thing about it is the person who raised the money could not decide where the boat goes, because he raises the money to buy a boat. And the boat goes to the RNLI. And then the RNLI decide who needs a new boat. And because we had a 75 and we needed to have an 85, we were chosen. And the man who raised the money, Chris Rundle, lives in Minehead, which is literally around the corner. So he's able to come here and share it with us and come and watch us working, and he's been here 3 or 4 times already. And also his daughter is also very involved. And that's actually very nice. It means there's a connection between somebody who does something in memory of someone and then being able to see that memory actively working. So that's rather a nice story. So as I say, we've got a lot going on in the next few weeks. Hopefully we won't have too many shouts. Have you got any questions? Anything else you'd like to know?
Where the covers off?
They have to be to air the engines. These are 2 car engines turned on their side. The sort of engine you have in a Ford or a Mazda. It's exactly the same engine, but it's been turned on its side to make it waterproof. Now we have to take the covers off when they've been out and running and they're very warm.